Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I'm participating in the Mercy Tiara 27-day challenge YouTube hop. Now, this is the Sketch It challenge with a twist. So I am actually going to be using this card sketch right here, and I'm going to convert it into a 12 by 12 layout. I'm going to be using these two photos. One is myself with my daughters, and then us in front of the maps here that was on a hotel when we visited Maryland. So let's see what I can do.
Now the first thing I do is promptly forget how to use a trimmer. Now I've been using that Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer for a good while now, and you can just barely see it off on the right hand side of my page. I'm not sure why I pulled out this one. I just did. And then I realized this is where I have the moment where I'm like, whoops, I put adhesive on the back of this and I should have waited. So I grab my trimmer again. This time I remembered how to use it, hooray, and go ahead and trim that off. You know, sometimes you just are a little bit crazy and you get ahead of yourself and you put the paper down, the adhesive down on that paper before you're really ready for it. So here is that paper, and I really debated on whether to put the globes up or the words because I really like the way the globes looked on these other tones of teal. I decided to go with the words though because that was going to be an awful lot of teal. So I'm going to put the photos together, and like I said, this is a photo of my girls and I, and then of the map, and I believe it is actually of the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. So I'm going to add some adhesive on the back of there, and then I stop for a minute because it was lunchtime. So when I come back, yay, now that I'm back, the photos have been matted on that pink paper. And I know, guys, I know pink and teal is a combo that everybody talks about. It's overdone, it's too much, it's just happening all the time. But you know what? Sometimes I just like the pink and teal. I just like it, especially with a pop of black. It makes me like stupid excited about it, guys. Now, I decided to use this big old label thing as my kind of representation of that floral cluster down there for the sketch, and I'm okay with it. I mean, it's half the size of a photo, but you know what? I'm okay with it. So it says, "Oh my heart," and I figured that that was appropriate. Just for a couple reasons. This photo was taken when we went back for a funeral, and also this photo was taken, you know, me and my girls. They're my heart. I love those. Love those little ladies. Not so little anymore, though, are they? So yeah, it's feeling a little nostalgic right there. Feeling a little lovey. So there we go. And then, just a complete side note, I'm looking at this photo and realizing how much my hair has really grown and lengthened, and that's super exciting for me. Anyway, totally random, not anything that has to do with the layout, but there it is. So I get that down, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a layout that isn't going to have a whole lot of embellishment, just because of the way it's feeling. I wish I could put into words. So sometimes when I look at a layout and I'm working on a layout and I'm like, yep, this is going to be one where more is definitely going to be more. And then sometimes I'm like, just a little is going to be good. And for this one, just a little was going to be good. So I'm digging through my floral die cuts. So what happens, I keep die cuts pretty much together, and then once I start using them, they go into these little plastic bins here. And I have like all chamel together, all jelly bean soup together, and then I mix some of them. Like I have some October Afternoon with some sassafras. So anything that kind of feels the same is how I organize those die cuts. And then I have all of these florals. And I thought, you know what? I always like mixing and matching my florals, so I should probably just put them all in one spot. And that's what I did. So there are all kinds of florals in here. And when I need florals, I just dig through them. And as you can see, it turned out pretty okay. Now, I didn't know what exactly I was doing up here at the top. I love the blue and the teal color combination down there by the title, but then up here I was like, something's got to happen. I don't have the exact right flowers to do the same exact color. I thought about bringing in, a little bit more, and then I was like, am I ever going to figure this out? Like, what is this going to be? And then I decided, you know what? I like this. The pink works. There is definitely pink in the layout. And I figured, you know what? The gold's or the yellow's going to work too because I have gold in the layout. So I figured yellow and gold were close enough in this instance that I wasn't truly introducing another color. I was just bringing it up to the top of the photos. And that's my story. And that's what I'm going with. So I'm using these foam squares, and these are foam squares on a roll, and my friend Christina gave me these. They are actually from a dollar store. I think it's Dollar General, and they're not in like the crafty bits. They're over in like the automotive and hardware type section. They're really great. They have a great like height to them, and they vary from the other foam squares that I use. That is one thing I do have to say I love. I love getting all different kinds of foam squares because I want the stuff on my pages to have different levels of height. So that is what I did. Now I'm doing the finger dance, trying to figure out what's going on. I do have to represent that long piece going across the page. At first I thought I was going to use that pink glitter, but no. That was a little bit too much. So I decided to go with this gold, kind of like almost, I call it a gold filigree glitter tape. I know it's not really filigree, but hey, works for me. So we're going to put that across. I'm going to tuck that up underneath of the photo and the flowers. And then I just need a little bit more off to the side to make sure that I get it all the way across. And I do have to say, I really love this tape. I wish I remembered where I got it because it is almost gone and I would like some more. Which is rare because I have, believe it or not, people, I have used up rolls of washi and glitter tape in the past, and I don't feel like, oh man, I need another roll of this. But this is one where I definitely like to have another roll. So I pulled back out that Pink Fresh kind of foam sticker thing, and I have some leaves and such, and I just decided to bring the gold up to the top a little bit more and put in that kind of leaf up there. And I think that it works. I think it works. I nestled that little heart in. I get it right where I want it to go. And then I'm thinking about something I've got to put up here at the top because the flowers are kind of lifting off of the photos there and there's really nothing there to ground it. So I grabbed some LE Studio labels, and I've got to say I love LE Studio labels so much. This is actually from a Christmas collection, but you know what? Labels need no collection. You can just use them. So at first I was going to put the label there across the photo, and then I was going to build something behind it. I was thinking maybe a heart, maybe I'd bring in another flower and make the flower cluster bigger, but it doesn't. Now I really like the way that heart looks with that label because the colors are a great match, but no. So I decide not to layer the label, and I decide to put it up at the top there, and that fills in the gap. And this is like a trick that I do. So if I know I need to spell out something, and I kind of have to have an idea of how long the letters are going to be, I use my letter sheet and count out the letters for the words. Like, there's multiple A's and B's and C's up there, but I would go LOVE across the A's. Does that make sense? And then I know that it will fit across this banner. However, even though I did that, I still did not put the letters originally in the best spot, so I just had to move them over a little bit, and that's okay. These letters are kind of forgiving and they move over super easy. So I just move those over, and there's going to be less of a gap. So, it does kind of look like one run-on phrase, but Love My Girls is perfect for me to be one run-on phrase. Like I'm not concerned about it. So I go ahead, I put that up there, and that also covers up just about all of that cream that is on the label. So even though the teal was kind of a perfect match, it is a cream label, and I do have this big white paper. So now what I'm doing is trying to figure out which enamel dots I'm going to bring in. And at first I was going to bring in the Pink Fresh, but then I decided to go with the Echo Park. I thought that the pink would be a great pop because I have this pink right here in the center of the page and really no place else. And this is the one thing I love doing with enamel dots. 3 different sizes all in the same color in a cluster. And then I'm just touching this stuff because that's what I do when I make my layouts. I just start touching it. I did pull in a Spectrum Noir glimmer pen or shimmer pen. I don't remember the actual name of it. All I know is that it's from Spectrum Noir. And I'm just glitterizing a little bit of the florals. And that's just to give it a little bit of extra sparkle. Because this layout doesn't have a lot going on it. Like there's a big title and there's some embellishment, but there's not a lot of embellishment and there's not a lot of layers. I say a lot of layers, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of paper on here at least. But that's okay. Like this might be something that you look at and think, wow, that's embellished a whole lot. But I look at that and I feel like this is one of my lesser embellished pages. So I grab the enamel dots again, and I do the little enamel dots in the center of the flowers, which is one thing I also really like to do with enamel dots. And then that way it covered up that orange center. There was a couple centers of the flowers that were like, eesh. All right, guys, that is it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out the Mercy Tiara Facebook group and everyone else who is hopping along. See you guys soon.